It's harder to run, especially soft, you can sort of get away with it.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everyone, for your 5V-line cup. We thanks for the great. Finish off that, Will. For the Tottenham.
I think it's too far. The connection issue.
How quick is you got? I remember that game. You did, was it South Melbourne Victory?
Maybe at Thomas Matilda, yeah. Honestly, I think the same thing. Like, a year just flew by.
For me, that feels like his last week.
Yeah. This is, I think, the last game I have scheduled. Like, I don't let the season is ended.
Ramin is the best of the best in the business. Austin Kruger's the best of the best of the best of the best in the business. And I'm the bloke that just got here somehow today.
And he's only wearing the one jumper too and Ballarat.
And I'm freezing. I've got no socks on either. All anklet socks. That's it.
Are we live?
Hope we're not.
Good morning everyone and welcome to the final day of the 2025 V-Line Cup. It's been a big couple of days of action. It's going to conclude across 3 ovals today, but where else would you rather be than City Oval and Ballarat? There's conditions, I mean, as far as Ballarat's concerned, not too bad. As I say that, Adam's team sheets have just gone flying. course, my name's Austin Kruger, joined alongside Adam Palombi, and that's all right, we'll get those sheets back later, mate. So we've got the NEB, or the Northern East Border Bushrangers in the white Guernseys. They'll be going to the right of your dial up against the GWV Rebels Girls matchup. GWV off to the left. Austin Kruger joined alongside Adam Palombi. His play is underway. I saw the Bushrangers play yesterday. Absolute dominant performance. And kicked 136 and only conceded the 1 goal. The Rebels, their last game was back on Monday. They had the bye yesterday. I imagine taking in the sides of Ballarat, maybe getting some raspberry drops at Sovereign Hill. It's just being wrapped up just outside the centre circle. Winning the tap there was Bat for the Rebels. Going through hand. McGurlane trying to get the first inside forward 50 here for the Rebels. Haven't had to do a hell of a lot of defending the Bushrangers throughout the V-Line Cup throughout. And Phoenix Dodd there with the clearing kick to the outer side. But it might be coming straight back in as the Rebels will look for another entry.
Morning, Austin. Morning, everybody watching today's V-Line Cup series of finals. The first instalment here, all up and away. And, well, the weather conditions perhaps a bit conducive, considering the wind has blown away all my team sheets. But the show will go on as the umpire's whistle sounds.
Here you go, mate. I've got a couple spares, actually.
Austin Kruger, the most professional of professional amongst the commentary ranks. And it's an honour to be alongside him again.
Oh, mate, I'm just I'm happy I've got someone with me. I've done the last couple of days on my own, so apologies for anyone that's tuned in over the last couple of days, and hasn't probably been my best work over the time. But I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast throughout.
Umpire's ball goes up and high like a helicopter, really. Comes back down to earth. It was nearly picked up in the mix by Wilson. And for those in blue, Austin was mentioning before we went live today, they've been really strong so far in the V-Line Cup. They've been the team to beat. In fact, well, although they hadn't been as successful in their last matchup, you look at the North East Bushrangers. Oh, I tell you, there was such a roar from their playing group. So all the way up here in the grandstand at Ballarat City Oval. As on the wing, nearly picked up by Howland. Can't seem to evade the pressure. The ball will just run out of real estate on the wing.
Yeah, there were a few standouts. I haven't seen the Rebels play yet live, but of course, doing the Bushrangers yesterday, I mean, there's so many standout players. The number 7 in the green helmet, Eve Webb-Hunt, one of the co-captains, she was fantastic in the middle, just always winning those centre clearances, it felt like, and getting the first look. But the Rebels dominating disposals early stages as Wilson, just giving that one off to McDonald. They've got 3 entries in a row, and they've also got the mark through Scarlett Pearce. Might be a little bit too far out to score, but there is an open goal square. Most of the forwards streaming back to goals. Might need someone to lead up at it. It's going to just kick it right to the top of the square. Dodd dropped the mark initially, somehow just scooped that handball out. Still in a dangerous area here for the Rebels, trying to get their first goal of the V-Line Cup. They were kept scoreless against the Falcons. He's going through hand there. It was McGurlane. Could have had a ping, but it's been fantastic to see the unselfish footy throughout the V-Line Cup. That's what it's all about. And here we go, a bit of good karma because it's come back to McGurlane. She gets the goal. The Rebels are on the board. Fantastic start for them. And a nice bit of, they just controlled territory from start to finish there, didn't they, Adam?
Hard to clear. Was the Sharon for the Bushrangers. It's a lovely finish from McGurlane. Of course, from Loretto College. Community club being Ballarat. Nice and local, and I'm sure knows this ground rather well.
He's had the 24 goals from her 15 games to the Ballarat White under 15, so a noted goal scorer.
And for the first major of today's proceedings, one straight plays nothing. Can the North East Border Bushrangers find a response? They get the clearance inside the middle. Tracking back was Harris. Couldn't seem to pick it up. Will try yet again. Had support with Millard. Harris trying to follow up, dropping the ball potentially. It's getting all but conducive in the back pocket for the Rebels. Meanwhile, hat kick forward will work from Timpson. Centering kick never got much elevation around the footy. Was Bat. Umpire's whistle will sound. That might be a decent outcome for those in white. Simmons from the ruck evades the head of Harris, who's being very prominent in defence early on. Shand got the hand pass away towards the wing. Wasn't sure where to go. It was McErlin. Picked it up, got boot to ball. Inside the centre square, the parry volleyball-esque will work. Webb Hunt with the green headband on today. I'm sure we'll see a lot of her around the footy. Bowles had it, lost it. Geddes trying to get a hand pass going. Kick up and high on the tarmac still was Webb Hunt. Trying to clear through the pack was Cochrane. Bit of a shirt pull perhaps on the number 5 by Pole, who's come away with the Sheridan. And now the Rebels have a look up. Bat got boot to ball inside the arc. Lurking was McDonald. Those in light blue trying to lock things in. Clearance smothered by Lang. Hacked along the ground, looking for a pickup was Bowles. Big hand pass over the top towards Farrell Downs on the wing. Austin, it's been quite the game so far. Lots of pressure out there and there's been good ball use.
It certainly has. Rebels just been a touch cleaner so far, just getting territory going their way. It's going to be that kind of morning. There's no rain as of yet, but we have had some sprinkles around, so it's going to be dewy conditions as the Bushrangers will enter inside forward 50. Compton will be lurking. She kicked 3 goals yesterday. Kicked the first of the game. Well done, just holding that footy in for a sec, waiting for the opportunity to arise, but Glover couldn't quite. Might be pinned for holding the ball. The ball does slip out. I'm starting to feel a few little raindrops starting to come down here at Ballarat City Oval. There's Powell with the rebound ball, just socket back inside forward 50 here for the Bushrangers. Very clean on ground level, but taken immediately. Was Powell in the tackle. The Bushrangers just starting to lift here in the early stages of this first quarter. Handball received to Geddes, who was best on ground yesterday in their victory over the Goulburn Murray Bushrangers. As McErlin, who's been prominent, taking the mark. She's kicked a goal. She's doing absolutely everything. And now on the outer side, Olivia Kennedy out of the Ballarat Football Club. We'll move it through the outer side.
Hand pass released towards Murfitt. Bit of pressure around the footy still. The Rebels look towards centre wing, leading but not clunking. Was McDonald. Ball along the canvas. How's the pickup? It was quick from out of Howland. Really stuck in early today at centre half back. Might just be that of Farrell Downs. He's had a lot to do. In fact, make that Dodd rather. Oh, the ball's just getting stuck between all sets of players right now. The pickup has to be clean. Boot to ball was the idea towards a vacant goal square. And Pippa McDonald wasn't too far away from an early Rebels couple of majors.
Looked good off the boot initially, but just missing to the near side. And northeast border Bushies will bring it out of defence. Webb Hunt the target. Put her body on the line, but it's going to slip out here to the GWV Rebels through Timpson. Just got a slight little digit on it, still not out of trouble. Dodd in defence has been fantastic. The Dodd sisters for the Bushrangers have been prominent for a number of years. Is Tessa Wilson just taking a run through the pocket. This would be an almighty V-Line Cup goal, and she slotted it. That is sublime. Fantastic finish there from Wilson. 2 on the trot for the Rebels.
Well, I'm not sure what they're teaching out at Damascus College, but A+ for goal scoring. Fantastic finish on the run, mind you.
In some pretty tough conditions as well. But we've seen some brilliant goals over the V-Line Cup, and that's what it's all about, showcasing your talents. It's not all necessarily about the winning and losing. It's about merging all these players together. They've come from far and wide, Adam. There's been some players also play their footy in the Sandful, in the Southern New South Wales League. So they've come from all over. And of course, in its 76th edition, we're seeing many stars come through this V-Line Cup, and tell you what, Wilson might be one of them. She's going to produce goals like that for years to come.
You mentioned coming from far and wide. You look here at that Liliana Murray-Wright of the Bushrangers from Corowa High School out in Rutherglen. Talk about the trip across the border.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the centre, wind starting to pick up. It was Jargo around the footy. Wraps up her direct opponent, and we'll have a stoppage.
And a big shout out to the parents as well, Adam. There's a lot of travelling that they have to do to bring their kids to training and the likes, especially when they do make it to that next level. So it's a big effort from all involved.
Talk about the petrol fees inclined.
Yes.
Or suffered,
it is a bit cheaper out in the country. I noticed $1.59 I got it for this morning.
Tell you what, not the worst prices. Looking to try and get something going. The Northeast Bushrangers, Border Bushrangers. Well, the prices might be heavy, but it's all to play for here today in the final. And they know that as Bowles finds a kick a bit more central. So the umpire had called play on.
Yeah, I've noticed in all leagues throughout the year that the front positioning doesn't actually get paid the mark these days. And tell you what, I could have used that as a defender many moons ago, Adam, because normally it was just whoever was at the front, whoever was the forward got the mark.
Play resumes, hand pass goes over the top. Getting a lot of the footy early was Millard, who finds a clearing kick. Hasn't gone as far as the centre square. Well intervened it was by Harrison. Lots of players immersing the footy. Who's going to come away with it? The pick-up nearly clean and nearly away was Koish. Kick towards out of the goal square. Mark will be paid, says the umpire. Perhaps a bit fortunate, but it's exactly what was needed. And Newton has a set shot opportunity.
I'll tell you what, I saw Newton yesterday kick one of the best goals I've seen. I mean, we saw one earlier from Wilson, but Newton kicked a beautiful set shot from about 45 on the boundary, so she certainly got the journey, I know that.
Goals might be hard to come by as the rain clouds start to bear down, but Newton, with not much of an angle, made the goal umpire dance, but they'll put through to signal that of a goal. The two hands go down, and the Bushrangers find their maiden in the granny.
Yeah, nice response after a couple of Rebels goals. About halfway through this first term, 9 minutes and change remaining. Of course, flat 20-minute quarters for the 2025 Beeline Cup. The Rebels will be coming into this one slightly more rested due to them playing on Monday and having the bye yesterday. And the Bushrangers, as I mentioned before, absolutely dominated. There's some serious talent coming through. The Koish, Maya Koish and Charlotte Koish. I'd imagine they're sisters, haven't confirmed that, but those sisters, tell you what, it's very exciting for football to come. Speaking of exciting, here's Tessa Wilson, who's already kicked a goal. She might be serving them up now to the top of the square. How's it going to bounce? Which way? Doing the defending are the Bushrangers through Mia Simpson. As the conditions just starting to get a bit more tricky here, so if you want to try and get a bit of a sizable lead, you want to do it early. Just teetering with the boundary line. Managed to keep it in on ground level there. For the Rebels was Emma Betts. And might just be a little bit too far out to score. And he's certainly pointing to the top of the square. Just going to improve the angle and run on, set it up to the high flyers. And nearly just landed nicely out the back there for Olivia Kennedy, but we'll have a boundary throw in the forward pocket here for the GWV Rebels, leading 2-1-13 to 1 straight 6.
Still a chunk of time left on the clock. 8 minutes.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Might just. Well, considering the wind is going northeasterly, it's interesting to see that the Rebels have gotten the clearances and kicked against it. Have the ball locked inside their arc once more.
You think the northeast Bushrangers would like the northeast league?
As the Rebels trying to lock things in. Hand pass was poised for Lang. Couldn't get around it. Wilson lurking around the pack. McDonald applying some pressure. Trying to come away with the footy. McInerney doing much of the same. Haberfield trying to clear. Ball's just going to run out of space on the far forward pocket broadcast side. It must be said, there is a nice build-up of people around us here today in the grandstand. Bit of clamour, bit of noise.
Yeah, I imagine a few will be staying in the car just for a little bit. It's been some good atmosphere at Marty Bush Reserve back on Monday at Mars Stadium yesterday. I tell you what, the Divi 2 boys game is getting quite fiery in the crowd.
Don't you love that on a Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever day it might be. Meanwhile, with the footy, McDonald tried to come away with it. Oof. Nearly from nothing. The attempt was dispatched by Keely Lang. And although Blemish is wide, the Rebels have showcased their intent early. They've had all the real scoring shots and opportunities. They haven't put the Bushrangers to the sword yet, but they're not allowing their opponents to find any refuge in clearing the ball from their defensive 50.
Yeah, 4 scoring shots to just the 1. Bushrangers have been efficient when they have had their entries, but it's just been locked down here. It'll be interesting to see when both teams have had a go from both ends to see if there is a bit of a favourable scoring end here at Ballarat City Oval. Very congested at the moment inside forward 50 here for the Rebels. Was able to break through the tackle and somehow feed that handball out in the McDonald direction. She was wrapped up, ball just slapped out of the hands, in dispute. It's going to be clean on ground level, and certainly his was Betts, but then she was just absolutely slammed right into the turf. Hot footy here in the first quarter of this Girls Division 1 V-Line Cup match. Ball will slip out yet again here. It's going to be Timpson, who's a fair chunk of the footy throughout the early stages, and a good mark taken. Might be a little bit too far out to score. Interesting to see. There's a bit of a wobbler, tough one to read. And another minor score, so 2-3-15, plays one straight 6. We've got about 5 minutes left here in this first term.
There's Howland, who went for the how long kind of finish. Real wobbler, boot to ball-esque, and went wide for a minor score, but it was well done from Timpson to find her teammate laterally. The Bushrangers really struggling right now, Austin, to get a clearance.
I was just going to say about Timpson, she was in the best against Geelong, so she is one to watch.
They might have some space on the wing. They've got the numbers, definitely. Is that where the ball goes down the line? It was a 2 against 3 contest in favour of the Rebels. Nearly away with the footy was Koish, who's earned a holding free kick.
She's an absolute gun, this kid. 48 goals from her 16 games for the Wodonga Bulldogs this year.
It's made quite the journey off the left boot. Inside the arc it goes. Poised for that of Dyte, who couldn't take the mark. It was well done, though, from Koish. Keep a firm eye on her. Meanwhile, boot to ball towards the goal square. Bouncing ball over the top, nearly. Just snuck its way in. It was Harrison with the snapshot. Howland needs the clearance for those in light blue. Backtracking to try to get her hands on the ball was Harris. Couldn't do so. It goes along the interchange wing. Umpire's whistle in favour of the Rebels. You can see the Bushrangers just flooding back. Haven't really had many moments to tantalise individually. But for Maya Koish, all the way from Wodonga, it's well done. The last passage of play to find an entry for those in white. So the Rebels can't really manufacture too much. Got on the ball, says the umpire. Pressure's fantastic from those in light blue. And they might have an opportunity to penetrate on the scoreboard. Kick inside 50, just chips over the head. That of make it Simmons. Hand passes were slick, they had to be. It was Harris linking nicely, the rain coming sideways. Ball goes towards the teeth of goal. Having the advantage was Lang, who tapped it. Could have clunked it. Goes to ground. They're under pressure here, those in white.
Rain's coming down, so I've had to put the laptop away. So I might not have the stats ready and available. McGurlin, who's been arguably the best on the field throughout the early stages. Nearly contested grab just outside the goal square here for the Rebels. Looking for another one with 2.5 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. Ball eventually does slip out. Trying to usher that one over the line will be Mia Simpson. Under siege at the moment are the defenders, and it was already over the line, so another minor score. 2-4-16, plays one straight 6. The Northern East Border Bushies trailing by 10 points, won by 130 yesterday. As we can see some of the boys rolling into the bus. There's going to be a big one-on-one contest. Webb Hunt didn't have the height advantage or the front positioning, but she still was able to bring the ball to ground. Grace Jackson involved. She's another one to watch out for. Webb Hunt on ground level, as she always is. Bowles, who kicked a lovely goal on the run yesterday. Just a bit of a hack out of the pack that will find its way to the boundary line. And we'll toss this one back in with about 90 seconds left in the first term.
Is there a late score for the side that have dominated the first quarter? The Rebels really flurrying forward. They might sense an opportunity to extend their lead further out. 10 points isn't too bad, although considering they've had 6 scoring shots to the NEB Bushies 1. I'm sure at quarter time, Naomi Irvine will try and rally the troops to kick a bit straighter. As McInerney applying the pressure, had 2 to beat, nearly got around both of them. Cunningham will clear. Harris got the tap. Still in dispute. McErlin finds the infrastructure to get the kick towards a teammate being Kennedy. Although the Bushrangers have got a free kick late in this one. They look towards the boundary line. 2-on-1 contest. Might not favour them on that far side. The pressure still relentless, chasing the footy. You can see that of Webb Hunt. Kick down the line. They might just evade the clock. They'll have to go very quickly if, well, NEB Bushies were to try find a counter. But quarter time just about to sound now. It's that very peculiar sounding siren.
Yes.
And the Rebels, 2-4-16, have a 10-point lead against the Bushrangers, who only found the one major with, dare I say, Austin, their only entry inside 50.
Yeah, I think they might have had one or two, but not a hell of a lot. So we'll have a short break here for the 2025 V-Line Cup. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast here live on Sportscast Australian through AFL Victoria. Austin Kruger and Adam Plumley. We'll see you after the break. Morning everyone and welcome back to the 2025 V-Line Cup. We're live from Ballarat City Oval or City Oval Ballarat, whichever one it is, here for the GWV Rebels with the Northeast Border Bushrangers. And what a quarter it was from the Rebels, 2-4-16 they lead by. Their goal scorers going to Tilly McErlin and Tessa Wilson. Tessa Wilson with that lovely goal from the pocket on the run. And for the Bushrangers, they didn't have a hell of a lot of entries inside forward 50. They were efficient when they did it. It was Ruby Newton with the set shot, continuing her good form. Austin Kruger joined alongside Adam Palombi here for the first throw-up of the second term.
Away we go. Webb Hunt's just bounced away from it. Well, the so-called scoring end might be in favour of the Bushrangers. Although Koish had some firm tackling prowess about her game. But possession, it's just been squandered almost. It was a bit confusing there, Austin. I'm not sure exactly what's happened or transpired there, but at half back now, it was Dodd who had to clear. The kick's a bit risky, but it will work. It was forward, and dare I say, it might have just been out of Koish, who's gone to the other end.
I did see that yesterday.
And kick it the opposite direction.
In the under-15s Divi 1 game, he's out of the centre clearance when the game was in the balance, kicks it right to their forward, and they kicked a goal.
Well,
but he also kicked the next two and made up for it, did the young man. So
a bit lucky there, perhaps. It was Maya Koish, gets away with it. The Rebels drop a routine mark. It was a bit unlucky from Pearce. And Webb Hunt will come away with the Sharon. Spearing kick. Had the elevation, changed the direction from Cochrane. Just can't seem to really get away. Just fizzes the ball back to the umpire, showcasing some intent that they want to get this game up and running to the Bushies.
Well, they were certainly up and about. Even in that quarter-time huddle, well, both teams making plenty of noise, trying to get a big victory here. Another little volleyball tap, but just slipping through the hands there of Charlotte Koish. There's Webb Hunt on ground level. Isabel Haberfield centering ball, but just couldn't find a target. It's not quite a Guernsey clash out, but it's teetering on a bit of a Guernsey clash. It's the light blue against the white. It's not as bad as I've seen in some of the Herald Sun Shield games over the years, but there's this one, umpire lurking, but he's just waited, stripped of the footy. You can hear the oohs and the ahs in the crowd in attendance. We've got some of the boys watching on. They've just come in. Great to see them down here supporting the girls match up as well, as the umpire will cross the arms, will throw it up just outside the paint of 50 here for the GWV Rebels. What a season they had in the girls competition in the Talent League. Had a bit of a sluggish start, but geez, they came home with the wet sail, were unlucky not to make the finals. And they've had numerous players make the team of the year, and they're going to be right up there in draft contention. It's a very strong football program, along with the Murray Bushrangers, who did make the prelim within the girls. That just slammed to the turf there was Katie Ford. Just going to pull up a ginger from that contest as a high-pressure start to this second term.
Ford seems to be back up and about from Wangaratta High, Community Club of Corowa Rutherglen. Quite the fair journey. Might just make the free press with a solid performance here today as Ford lurked around the footy, trying to push off Thomas, who nearly came away with it. In dispute, Harris tried the pick up. Now Bowles was alone. Hunter Scott in the centre will take the Sharon. Has received a lot of it. Kicks towards an advantage. Out wide, there's numbers plentiful for those in white, although Koish just couldn't seem to come away with the Sharon. Little tap on the deck from Bowles. Harris, defensively sound, has been for much of the game for the Rebels. Although the up and under kick dropped by Webb Hunt, the chest mark. Went down the corridor, bit of a fresh airy from Coughlin. Such an immensely pressured football at the minute as Hexter got around it. Slippery as well. There's Sharon, the rundown was nearly there. It was Murphy who got away with it. Howland couldn't get the hand pass cleared. Foster, nearly, so close from taking the mark was Coughlin in the back pocket. Newton went around her direct opponent. though McCurlin has the share and has lateral support. Goes central instead, has to follow up on her own work. Backwards to go forwards. Wilson bursts away. Arches the back, off she goes. 2-on-2 contest. Reaching high was Cothan once more. Hand pass from Lang was quick. And now a glimpse towards goal off the snap. There's a vacancy in the goal square, but the unselfish option. The full forward of McDonald had let it roll through as the Rebels find another, and it's Emma Betts who slots it Eddie-like.
A nice snap there, and even all the players getting involved were all the goal scorers. Tessa Wilson, Tilly McCurlin, all had a hand in that passage of play. Finishing off the job there, Betts. I mentioned Kurrawa before. I just had a look to actually see where it is. It's just inside New South Wales. I was wondering how long away it is, and it actually borders with a town named How Long, so a bit of useless information for all the viewers out there this morning. A good start here for the Rebels. It's been fantastic to see. Obviously, they struggled a bit against the Falcons in their round one matchup. They've clearly gone to work. I imagine they would have done some connection stuff yesterday throughout the team, because a lot of these girls may have played some local footy against each other, but a lot of them are only meeting for the first time, so it takes a little bit to find that synergy within the squad. And Bowles, who's been prolific throughout the V-Line Cup, will send to the bushies inside forward 50. Ruby Newton trying to do the dirty work on ground level. She normally does most of her good work up in the clouds. Speaking of, slightly overcast. Not quite sure what the weather's going to do. Saw a double rainbow over at Marty Bush Reserve, followed by some near hail. So we've had a bit of everything throughout the V-Line Cup. Centre wing here at City Oval in Ballarat. Had to get it on the second attempted bowls. Trying to get it in the Webb Hunt direction. I would be too. Well, she's just bumped him. Bumped her right into the own teammate. We're glad to see that Eve Webb Hunt is wearing the helmet. Taken to the turf there was Lucy Howland. It was a crunching bump, very physical contest. As it'll be tossed back in, just slightly forward to centre wing here for the Northern East Border Bushrangers. Quite the mouthful. As the Rebels just trying to slip it out. Lurking again was Bowles, but being involved in this contest, did well to just get the arms free to get the handball in the Glover direction. It's a dewy conditions here this morning, just bursting through a couple sets of tackles and getting the kick away. Will it be the required journey? No, it won't be. Geddes, who was BOG yesterday, is going to have to try and just surge this ball forward. Now on ground level, Cochrane. Another player who was stellar yesterday, and holding the ball call, going the way of the GWV Rebels. It's going to Pole, who was in the best against the Falcons.
Unlucky. Cochrane went for boot to ball and had dropped it nearly at the back of the pack. The courageous mark almost taken. As on broadcast wing, goes down the line. Clunk nearly taken by the Bushies. Hand passing in confined spaces. Bowles was there. Big pressure applied by Brown. Umpire saying play on. Boot to ball was quick. Had to be from Kennedy. Haberfield's kick hasn't gone too far. And Howland's got boot to ball. Inside 50 it goes. And Betts is around the football. Geddes earns the free kick and wants to go quickly. Has Hunter Scott. Or Webb Hunt, rather.
So Isabel Haberfield as well has just pulled up a bit ginger for that contest.
Keep an eye on her. Will Austin Kruger, but at the other end, Newton has a slight opportunity. Although from half-back, Millard. Short hand pass, Kennedy. Can't seem to pick out a teammate. So it's been a lot of, let's say, recycling of possession from both sides. Either yet to really infiltrate on the score, but only Betts has the major of the second term so far. With such pressure, leads to such turnovers, and both sides doing much of that right now. Right near the centre circle, the ball just trickles inside that area now. Little socket was the idea off the ground by Brown. Round the football, Jackson, head underneath it. Webb Hunt got boot to ball. Still in the centre square, the ball just not being able to get out of that region. Lateral kick, I'm sure, wasn't the idea. from the Rebels. It comes to broadcast wing now. Left and right. Coughlin got boot to ball, goes up and high. Weaving through the traffic, Timpson. Millard had to clear. Umpire's whistle sounds and might just favour the Rebels. I'll have a free kick. It's been such a topsy-turvy game. Both sides, Austin, not able to really have a genuine spell of possession. There's been so much pressure at ground level as Simpson comes away with it. Some space opening up in the corridor. Courageous mark taken. And going quickly was Newton. Poised for Brown, couldn't take the clunk. Can they lock it in just outside the arc? That's exactly what Dyte was looking to do as we have a ball up.
So just hit halfway through this second term. As you said, the one goal this quarter going the way of the GWV Rebels, Greater Western Victoria, of course. Bushy's trying to get themselves back in the contest with another major. Ruby Newton there, only goal scorer, but they've been rebounding quite proficiently. Little soccer there from Kennedy. An opportunity arises for the Rebels to go inside forward 50 or right to the paint. Just couldn't quite hold to the mark. Maybe held without it. There was Dodd. Can they get their handball away? Because they've got players streaming into goal. Well done. Good pressure, but it still might work out for the Rebels. One-on-one contest. Bouncing ball to the goal square. Simpson should get to it first. She was bumped, but right back onto the footy. He's trying to professionally usher this one over the line, in which he does. So a good result from Simpson in defence.
Great forward pressure
from Tran in defence.
From McInerney. Just trying to lock the ball in for those in blue who sense an opportunity here.
They certainly do. It's just been centred into the goal square. Opportunity. If they can try and get a quick rebound, but picked up off ground level. The snapping shot is missing to the right. So another minor score. They've been slightly inaccurate. A few of those behinds have been rushed though. So 3-5-23 plays one straight 6. If this girls division V-Line Cup matchup, it's hard to believe that the Rebels went down to the Falcons 52-4 when they're playing football like this.
Segues nicely into my next question, Austin.
Yes.
Before the broadcast went live today, it was really expected that the Bushrangers would be in the commanding seat in terms of both having the ascendancy and being in front on the scoreboard by a hefty margin.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen the Bushrangers and they won 136-6, so I thought it might be a similar story today, but done well here, the Rebels, but Dodd will bring him out of defence.
And away they go, right down the corridor. That's exactly the idea. The pickup has to be clean from Koish. It was. She looks towards none of the teeth of goal. In dispute, the ball might just be. It was there for Harrison. Snuck away from her. She's applying some pressure. Harrison still in there. And with forward pressure, it makes diamonds. As Alexis Harrison, all the way from Lavington, finds a much-needed goal for the Bushrangers, who peg one back.
Very well done, choreographed celebration as well. The teammate went straight down and she hopped on the shoulders and did a bit of a Jezelenko, a bit of a cappuccino celebration. So that was wonderful to see. That's what I love about the Talent League and all the young stars coming through. Some of the celebrations they come up with, having spent some time with the Knights, they use some type of, it's not just completely organic. There's, if I kick a goal, this is what we're going to do. And that was fantastic to see. It's great to see them enjoying their footy. And a wonderful finish from the boundary. Maybe the Rebels are a touch unlucky not to be awarded a push in the back in defence, but there's game on here at City Oval in Ballarat. It's wonderful to be back here for a second straight V-Line Cup. Simmons with a kick forward. Just missing the ground ball was Wilson. Ball just fell a little bit short. As we'll toss it back up at 60 from home here from the Bushrangers, who are just starting to build a bit of momentum in this contest. Out of the clearance, under a lot of pressure, trying to track it down now. There was Borga Hewson. And the Bushrangers potentially with some space for Conti if she can run onto the football. How will it sit for it? It will sit nicely, trying to weave around, gets past one tackle, will centre that one in. Just dropping the mark though. Pushed out of the footy, and there's the push in the back. So we'll go back to the GWV Rebels. Just a bit of a relieving free kick and playing on immediately. Love this. Trying to go for the counter attack through the corridor, pushed out of it. There's Simpson He thought the Bushrangers has done very well to win it out. Applying the pressure back for the Rebels was Harris. Aaron Simpson having a good duel throughout. Parker's just going to bang this one. They've got to play open towards the goal square, but how's that for a mark? Going back with the flights. This is excellent work. I believe it was Tessa Wilson.
Who had to go quickly. As Cochrane earned the share, and that's a nice mark taken inside the arc. It's Maya Kosh, who wants to go quickly off the left. Doesn't have the journey, although Harrison was there. You can really see the Rebels right now just repelling. They're not sure what to do as Brown takes a nice mark. Roughly 40 out. The Bushrangers have really upped the ante. Their intensity's off the charts right now. They've seen a lot of the ball in the corridor. As Gracie Brown from Wodonga. It's coming back. Has it got the distance? Just falls short right at the last knockings. But she might have another attempt. She spoils the ball. It bounced before it reached her. Now it counts about number of Shand. Tries to find a clearing hand pass. Towards a one-on-one contest. Might favour Geddes, who's really trying hard to have the ball just sit up nicely for her. Coughlin had the kick smothered, in fact, inadvertently by Geddes. The Bushrangers manufactured a kick forward, although on the paint of their defensive 50 for the Rebels, they'll find a alleviating mark taken in that region by McInerney. Along the interchange wing. Harris bounces nicely for Broger Houston. Or Broger Houston, I think.
We'll go with that.
We'll try that again. Meanwhile, just outside, in that between that region of the centre half forward and centre square area, it's really up in dispute right now. And the Rebels, who've been going corridor a fair bit, Austin, have possession once more.
They certainly do. Putting themselves under pressure. Webb Hunt was applying it, but they backed themselves in through the contest, down the line. Wilson taking the mark, having some kind of performance here in the first half of this first game of the final day of the V-Line Campers, with 3 minutes and change remaining in the first half, trying to add a bit more scoreboard nourishment. As North East Board have been able to bring themselves back into the game. Dodd laying the tackle, just slipping that handball out into a bit of space towards the number 9 in Gracie Brown, who's starting to have an impact. Grace Jackson was one of the better players yesterday. Sadie Harris tracking on ground level. Cochrane did well to apply the pressure, but the Rebels continue to get it forward, although that one might be coming straight back out through Isabel Haberfield, who was on the ground just before going down what looked like an injury. Is Ruby Newton, one of their 2 goal scorers. This is a beautiful chain building, but the kick just falling a touch short there of Murray Wright. And bursting through, can we see another sensational goal here from the Bushrangers? We certainly can. Another great finish from the pocket. It was Farrell Downs. He's still only 14 years of age. He's already played a couple games with the Bushrangers in the under-16 Futures program, and you can see why with finishes like that. And a little bit of something out of nothing. I mean, the Rebels managed to get it back in their forward half for a little bit there, Adam, but they did control the territory for the past 5 or 6 minutes, and a thoroughly deserved goal. It's back to a 5-point margin with just under 2 left in the first half.
They haven't had many glimpses of the Bushrangers, but each time they have ventured forward, they've come away with something. 3-zip. Rather impressive goal kicking at the minute by them. Now the Rebels might just live to regret some inaccuracy in front of goal, although, as you mentioned, Austin, has been a lot of rush behinds. As Webb Hunt had to go the helicopter up and under. It bounces for Cochrane. Ran into some trouble. Webb Hunt in support. The tackle just brushed aside. Harris bursting through. Slipping away. You could see at the back, ready to receive, was Howland. Nearly courageous with the mark was McDonald. Kick inside the arc. What can happen here? In dispute is Sharon. Coughlin trying to get her hands on it with the forward pressure was Howland. Ball's going to stay alive for McInerney. Coughlin tries the check side clearance. It might just work too for Brown, who hadn't got there in time. Kennedy with the pickup. Umpire waves play on. It was Cunningham trying to escape. 35 seconds left here. Can the Rebels find something heading into half-time? Brad Nicholson and Sophie Nicholson, I'm sure, will hope they can. Up and away, Simmons from the ruck. Coughlin couldn't get boot to ball. Umpire's whistle sounds. And the Bushrangers will see out the second quarter, considering they have a free kick deep in their defensive 50. Got quite the second half of the V-Line Girls Cup to be played. We're not far away from that happening, although right now it will be half-time. The peculiar siren sounds, 3-5-23. The Rebels with a 5-point lead against the Northeast Border Bushrangers, 3-18. They were struggling in the first quarter. Austin, they managed to pull it back to a 5-point deficit heading into the third quarter.
Certainly right. We'll quickly go through our goal scorers. For the Bushrangers, Alexis Harrison, Ruby Newton and Rory Farrell-Downs. And for the GWV Rebels, Tessa Wilson, Tilly McErlin and Emma Betts are our goal scorers. Austin Kruger and Adam Palombi. We'll have a short break here for half-time, but don't go anywhere because this one's going right down to the wire. Half-time here at City Oval in Ballarat. We've got an entertaining clash here for the 2025 V-Line Cup. The GWV Rebels leading the Northeast Border Bushrangers 3-5-23 to 3 straight 18. Our goal scorers for the Rebels, singles to Tessa Wilson, Tilly McErlin and Emma Betts. And for the Bushies, Ruby Newton got them going in the first quarter, and then Alexis Harrison and Rory Farrell Downs with singles apiece. So 5 points in it at the start of this second half. Austin Kruger here, joined alongside Adam Palombi here on Sportscast Australian through AFL Victoria. And here is the voice of Adam for the first centre clearance of this third term.
5 points the margin. It's all to take home for either of these two sides here today. It's just starting to showcase. It could be a real grandstand finish. We're in the premiership quarter now. Stoppages have been fluent, both sides wanting to get on the bus with a gold medal around their necks. Considering the raw which was present from the Rebels to start this game, they came in it with ferocity, but it was a brilliant tackle and Wilson was caught on the ball. The Bushrangers have weathered that early storm from those in light blue and are looking okay right now as Simmons nearly had the footage personified, really, the Bushrangers' intent following that run-down tackle against quite the player for the Rebels so far in Wilson. Meanwhile, on broadcast wing, Pole couldn't get genuine boot to ball. Lewis got the hand pass away. Webb Hunt's had a lot of it. Kick had nice shape. It was in dispute. Harris couldn't seem to pick it up. It's really slippery, that footy today. McErlin went up and high right down the corridor. We've seen a lot of the ball contested in this part of Ballarat City Oval. Thomas wheeled and dealed, 2 against 2. Coughlin getting back. In support was Foster, who wheels away nicely to get the clearance towards the centre square. Just evades Haberfield. Tries the pickup right towards the interchange. Was greeted by McDonald. And now on centre wing, interchange wing. A fresh airy, the pressure too much for Howland to handle. Umpire with a tentative watch on it. Many bodies immerse it. Newton lurked around it as McErlin trying to get away. Hand past Shane will just about work, and a kick towards a contest is on the cards. McInerney, they can straighten up here, the Rebels. Emma Austin, you've got to think about the unselfish, perhaps option, which wasn't utilised there. All on her own was Emma Betts, who's already snagged one today. She was away and vacant towards the goal square, but was never acknowledged by her teammate, who missed, dare I say, the lot for it to be a boundary throw.
Yeah, as they say in the classics, not a bad result though. Get to keep it inside forward 50. Probably prefer that than a minor score and giving it the ball back to the Bushrangers. And shout out to Bowles as well, who had that chase down tackle right on centre wing in front of us. It was an excellent effort. It nearly resulted in a inside forward 50 entries. A little snap there from Thomas to the teeth of the square. Was nearly marked now, in dispute. If they can get the clean pick up on ground level and a quick snap away to get this second half, it's going to be high contact free kick going the way of the Rebels. It's an opportunity for them, as I said, to open up this second half with a major. It's potentially held as well, so it was pick your poison for the umpire. Slight angle up. Only about 15 metres out for the hot start here for the Rebels to get them going, and just misses to the right. So 3-6-24, 3 straight 18. That could be the telling tale towards the latter stage of this game. Of course, it's been some trickling rain, tough conditions for the girls, but they're showcasing some excellent skill. Webb Hunt couldn't get the mark. The 2 opposing number 7s getting in around the footy. Millard didn't have a lot to kick to forward of the ball, trying to keep it in play and get it out of defence was Cunningham. Did get the kick away. Next target down the line in Compty. Couldn't get the mark due to the heavy pressure that the Rebels are putting on. Just bounced right off the chest. Probably wasn't going to be the required journey. Bodies just crashing into each other. The Rebels just continuing to win this football out. It's Cunningham yet again. She's been impenetrable throughout, but kicked it directly to the opponent there in Wilson, who can get ready to launch the Rebels into a very dangerous part here of Ballarat City Oval. Nearly an excellent mark in the defensive goal square, but picked up yet again on ground level. Handball receive. And it's just gone over the top. A nice finish. Emma Betts has got a second. I'll tell you what, missed out one Missed out on one from the teammate to open up the quarter. The footy gods have returned to another and becomes the only multiple goal scorer on the afternoon. And the Rebels just building up a nice little buffer here, Adam.
Loves a snag. Does him a Betts.
I mean, but like you said, but the last name like Betts, you know, you're going to be kicking nice snaps from the pocket.
There was a nice one on display there. Just had enough elevation to evade the Bushranger on the goal line, who turned to makeshift goalkeeper. But the Rebels, despite the Bushrangers just getting some ascendancy, have a 12-point buffer.
I did actually get to call Emma Betts into Girls Division 1 Herald Sun Shield. She represented Ballarat Grammar, kicked 3 goals in her 2 games, so is the noted goal scorer.
Keep an eye on her. As Bowles does really well to have the ball under her spell, kicks towards a pack that was leading at the front of it. Had a teammate, dare I say it was Ford, who was doing much of that. As Simmons lurks around the footy. That was really well done from the centre by Bella Bowles to just get away. Had the ball parried to an advantage. And the Wodonga Raider had manufactured something nice. Meanwhile, there could be a goal scramble that will be touched on the line. It was Jackson lurking, trying the soccer, dare I say, not even half a metre just before the goal line. So 2 perfect kicks. The Bushrangers are in front by a point. What can the Rebels do? From centre half back, the kick's just going to slip through Koish's fingers. It's a bit short, but got away with it was Jargo. Newton tried the pick up around the footy, was Millard. Supplying pressure, so was Howland. Bushrangers just can't seem to lock it in. The Rebels manufacture a clearance. But just inside the centre square and playing on, following the mark courageously was Webb Hunt, who's gone up and high. In fact, that was Compty rather. The number 1, not to be confused with the number 7.
There's not enough extra text on those 7s these days. They're a little bit further out.
We're lucky that Webb Hunt's got a bit of headgear on today to try just give us a hand with identification. Meanwhile, McDonald, nearly courageous, off the flight, went the no-look hand pass to try clear Compty. Couldn't get too far. The pressure from those Austin in light blue, have been saying it all afternoon, has been immense.
Certainly has. Tessa Wilson, one of the standouts here for the Rebels, has just been popping up everywhere. He's got a goal and had a few nice defensive moments as well. As this one will be thrown up inside forward 50 here for the northeast border Bushies, trying to bring themselves back into the contest. Compty's been lurking around the contest. Harrison with a little snap around the corner, bouncing one to the top of the square. That is clean work from Parker on ground level. Wheels around onto the right. Probably not going to have the purchase to get the goal, but gets the mark from Newton. Good forward 50 pressure, resulting in a potential second goal coming here for Ruby Newton, who kicked one in a similar spot in the first quarter, just a bit straighter. Been kicking them from all angles throughout the 2025 V-Line Cup. Newton comes in, slight angle, 10-metre kick to bring it back to a 5-point margin at the halfway point of this third quarter. It was always going through. He's got a lovely strike of the football. And that's Newton's second. Able to just lock it in there. A few repeat stoppages. You know, the defence won't be able to hold up when it's just coming in hot and heavy like that continuously.
I'm sure if those at Cathedral College Wangaratta are watching the stream right now in the classrooms, in fact they can't be, Austin, it's school holidays, but
yes,
they're enjoying it from home rather. If you're getting around at a Ruby Newton, it was a great finish. So direct, goal umpire barely had to move. Then a 5-point ball game yet again.
Yeah, she's kicked 6 goals back in round 9 for the Wodonga Bulldogs. 25 goals from her 14 games this year. I mentioned before she's already played with the under-16 Futures program, so I imagine she'll be there in years to come, of course, with the Bushies. Making the preliminary final within the Talent League this year, Adam, after finishing bottom of the year in 2024. So it's been quite a turnaround for this program, and it's great to see him playing some good footy.
All on display. Got to love how, with Aussie rules, the youth setups allow for competitions like these to really showcase the best of the best. As Howland got a hand pass on towards Shand, whose kick was a spearing one. but off centre half back. It was well intervened by a Bushranger. Kick was a bit short for bounds. Umpire's whistle sounds a throw's being the call. And the Rebels have a free kick, in which Kennedy takes no time at all to try dispatch of. But it's well defended by Foster. He'll try again. She'll look towards broadcast wing. Had a glimpse at perhaps Simmons. That's where the ball's gone towards. Might just set up for Simmons under some duress by Hexter. In fact, made that Zara Steele from South Warrnambool.
Must have gone out of bounds on the full by the looks of it. So Simmons to bring him back into play here. Landed nicely towards Compton. The Bushies building the latter stage of this third quarter. The premiership quarter, as it's known by, was able to get the handle away. Just was Geddes. She'll get it back here from the opposing team from 35 metres out on the run. Could she get the bounce? She certainly can. They're up 1 point. Geddes with the major BOG yesterday and looking the same today. And the quick counter attack. Bit of surge mentality from the northern east border Bushies. He's put him up by a single digit here at City Oval in Ballarat. 4-6-30, plays 5-1-31. So we've spoken about the inaccuracy, Adam, and that is coming into play in the latter stage of this contest.
For the first time today, the Bushrangers hit the front. And well, Austin, you had quite the glimpse of the craftsmanship of Isla Geddes yesterday. Of course, from Lavington, an Albury High School student, but nothing high school about that finish. It was really senior.
Absolutely. Also plays at Osborne as well. 11 best from 17, so she just plays a bucket full of footy. He's reaping the rewards.
So how can the Rebels respond? They had quite the start against the side, whom were tipped to really dominate in this grand final. It's been a lot closer than expected, which I'm sure from a neutral perspective, those watching are enjoying. McCurlin around the footy. Webb Hunt's been really stuck in today. Clearing hand pass for Bowers wasn't reached in time. High call's been what the umpires prescribed. In the corridor, goes down the line. Howland, the target. And now look at that. Brilliant from Betts. But a not even better tackle was applied by the Bushrangers. Simpson really repelling well from half back. Kick goes, or the hand pass rather, from Simmons. Hadn't gone too far. Simpson around it. What can the Rebels do here? Slide angle. The goal umpire with a real watch. That's how you convert. And that's how you reinstate a lead. A brilliant finish on the run from the Rebels, and they're back within a 5-point lead.
I've seen some wonderful finishes throughout this game. It's hard to believe this is an under-15 competition. Some of the skills we're witnessing. We've already seen the young stars of the AFLW coming through the ranks, and now that all these girls have got programs like this, much like the boys, they're going to be dominating for years to come of these players. I'd be shaking in my boots if I was an older player on the list of an AFLW squad. And it was Tessa Wilson who was able to convert that goal, making it a second on the morning, nearly afternoon. The rain just getting a touch heavier here at City Oval and Ballarat. Around the area, get on down. This is a fantastic game between these two squads. High quality, high scoring in trying conditions. On ground level there was Sadie Harris, continuing to move it forward. Cunningham tracking. She had a nice couple of interceptions that resulted in the rebound goal that Geddes was able to put through. Farrell Downs, another goal scorer, just seeing that one over the boundary line. So 5 points in it. 6 minutes on the clock remaining here in this third quarter. These girls' division matchup. Of course, the Bushies getting a win over the Bushies yesterday. The Goulburn Murray Bushrangers, of course, was the northern east border. The Rebels, 48-point loss to the Falcons all the way back on Monday. Lovely work through the middle, just somewhat left the ball behind in the end. Was trying to get it back for herself there was Haberfield, but the Rebels continue to move it towards high half forward, tracking is Shand. Just staying in play. Little hack kick out of the pack. A bit of a spray and pray down the wing. Going through a few sets of hands. Trying to paddle it forward to her teammate. Almost socketed that one up to herself Gaelic style. And then just goes bang, just hexed out. Nice bump. A textbook bump. Still got a player on the turf. Able to get back up. The ball just in dispute. It's a tough one to get at the moment. Very congested. With all the players around it. The umpire will finally cross the arms to call for a stoppage. No, it's a free kick going the way of the Greater Western Victorian Rebels. With 5 minutes left in the third term, trying to get another one. And coming into this last quarter with a nice lead. On half back. Trying to go for the ground ball, believe was bowls. It certainly was. Now laying the tackle. Has she given enough intent? It's going to be another free kick going the way of the Rebels. Tilly McErlin, who got them going initially. She's got a player open in the pocket. It'll take a fair roost of the footy. Plays on off the mark. Showing some excellent skills numbers here with the Rebels on ground level. Who's going to muster up and probably happy to just take the stoppage there. Was Cunningham, who's been under a lot of pressure in defence throughout this third term.
The Rebels had quite the scoring start at this end in the first quarter. Can they muster up the same here in the third? The tap nearly on for Wilson from the rucking contest. All players just stopping briefly for that pause. The whistle never sounded from the umpire. Thomas got boot to ball. Lurking was Betts. So dangerously, umpire's whistle in favour of the Rebels, who will have a free kick. Now, despite the angle, roughly 20 metres out from goal, will this set shot opportunity be from? For an 11-point margin, the Rebels. The car horns start sounding, and they get around the goal scorer, who was very accurate in front of the sticks. And dare I say, might just be that of Sadie Harris. It's hard to tell from this angle, because we haven't exactly seen potentially Sadie turn to really make sure it was her number.
We had the numbers on the front.
And well,
either way, it was a lovely set shot. And from Sadie Harris. The conditions just getting worse here now. So with an 11-point lead, the conditions continue to stay like this. Rebels might be in for their first victory of the 2025 V-Line Cup within the girls division, of course. Just trying to send it forward there was Cochran. Back in towards the centre circle, fresh airy through hand. Umpire just giving a little bit of leniency. Well done on ground level from Dodd, fed it out. Got tackled straight away though, did Simmons, and then just tosses the opponent to the ground there in Millard. 2 minutes and change left here in the third quarter. The Bushrangers trying to respond after the Rebels were down for the first time in this game. And they've responded with the next 2 goals in pretty quick succession. Bushrangers just trying to build. Through hand was Haberfield. Good tackle, stripped of the football. It was Jackson, I believe, that laid the tackle there for the Northern East border. It certainly was. Now she's on ground level. There's Foster in defence in the pink helmet. She's been fantastic throughout the campaign. As eventually, let's throw it back up. Look at the under-15 Division 2 boys match-up between these two sides coming at you next. That's going to start at about midday, so the boys will be warming up pretty soon, getting pumped up and ready. Holding free kick going the way. The umpire's put his arm left. Rebels were trying to claim it. Still enough time to score. Would love one before the siren. As the rain's coming in sideways here at City Oval in Ballarat. Just outside the paint of 50. Ball in dispute. The Rebels in defence yet again. Fantastic work, just putting that to advantage. Just trying to clear it out. Might just work out for them now. There's time left for them to score. Handball to herself. Excellent work. Nearly the chase down, but was able to get the kick away just. Was Olivia Kennedy. Is wrapped up, or another holding free kick, but this time it's going to the north-east border bush. He's got a couple of Saw plays from that contest. Hopefully all the best for them. There's a big collision. Good to see the sportsmanship, though, of the Rebels and the Bushrangers, helping them get back on their feet. And that's what the V-Line Cup is all about. 20 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. We might not see a hell of a lot of play, though, due to this injury stoppage. I believe it was... might have been Coughlin that's going to come off the ground. Webb Hunt, the next target down the line. A couple of Rebels crashing to the road of each other. Three-quarter time siren sounds. We've got a fantastic game on the cards here for the V-Line Cup. The GWV Rebels 6-6-42 leading the Northeast Border Bushrangers 5-1-31. We'll have a short break here for the V-Line Cup, and then we'll bring you right up to the full-time siren. 20 minutes of football remain here for this under-15 girls Division 1 matchup for the V-Line Cup. We've got a fantastic game on the cards for you as the sun just starting to shine here at City Oval in Ballarat. For how long is the question. 6-6-42 are the Rebels, thanks to 2 goals to Emma Betts and Tessa Wilson, singles to Tilly McErlin as well. For the Northern East Border Bushies, 2 goals to Ruby Newton, 1 to Alexis Harrison, 1 to Isla Geddes. The Rebels have led by 10 at quarter time, 8 at half time, and 11 coming into the third quarter. He's the voice of Adam Palumbi.
All to play for, 11 points, 4th and final quarter. The Rebels had a decent game so far in the sunshine, had it kicked with a little chip pass was McErlin. Trying to identify that of Shand. The defensive pocket, the Bushrangers going down the corridor, trying to at least dart, couldn't take the mark on the flight. Webb hunts, lurks around the Sharon. Hand pass was cleared quickly, although a high call was paid by the umpire. The beneficiaries are the Rebels. You get it moving towards the paint of 50, parried not to advantage. Though it might just be, in fact, it was McErlin who won the Sharon, went lateral. Chasing was Harris, picks it up under some duress, had 3 Bushrangers around her. Kick inside forward 50, bouncing away from McInerney. Applying pressure with Shand. Wind picks up with the sunshine on the playing surface. All 4 seasons in a morning, mind you. Just bounces away the Sharon. From a back-tracking Harrison, looking to latch on was Jargo. On broadcast wing, the pickup nearly complete by Shand. His kick goes up and high, not very handsome. Centre wing. Dites just got boot to ball in time. And while the Bushrangers boys are in support,
Certainly are.
lifting in the grandstand with a big roar for ball, and Brown has it in her jurisdiction.
Macy Brown, only 10-15 last week, was in the best in 2 of her 3 games in the final series. For the Wodonga Bulldogs, unfortunately, couldn't quite come up trumps in the big dance, but as the ball's just in front of us here, broadcast side, he's done well in the tackle there. As Alan Lewis was in dispute with Pole. Newton, apologies, Webb Hunt around. Bella Bowles, right place, right time, setting that kick down the line, and that's going to be a boundary throw-in. Of course, no lasso within the V-Line Cup. We'll be seeing that in the AFL next year. It's a shame we won't get to see. It's my favourite umpire signal is the insufficient intent. The umpire's just running in with a big launch, but I tell you what, the lasso's a close second. Cracking those whips around will the umpires be next year. Not in the V-Line Cup though, so we'll throw it back in slightly forward off centre wing here. Because that one's just gone over the top of everyone. Normally come up a little bit short, but too much on that occasion. Through hand was Cochrane. Trying to get the Bushies back into this one. Trailing by 11 points early stages last quarter. Slipping through the digits of Dite. A lot of players in and around the football. Just trying to rip it out. That's quite a handball. It's more of a hammer fist, but play on. As the 2 players just desperately vying for this football. Laying the tackle yet again. Grace Jackson. Been dominating the Lavington Panthers. As we'll throw it up just outside the paint of 50 here for the Bushrangers. There's Pole weaving around some traffic, sending them down the line. Couldn't quite hold on the mark. It was good pressure at the last second. Phoenix Dodd bursting through the pack. Webb Hunt trying to go for a little specky. Couldn't quite. Dodd will sit under it. Should be able to mark it. Just slipping through yet again. It's a slippery Sharon. Apologies, it might have been Simpson. Oh, it was Dodd. Got it right the first time. Either way, GWV just trying to surge it forward any way they can through Thomas. Under a lot of pressure. Dodd applying it with the bump. Thomas yet again, though, not giving up on the play. Just weaving around traffic, trying to find some space was Paul, who's really got this initial passage of play going. Simpson in the direction of Cochrane. Wrapped up, ball slipping out. Hot start to this last quarter, as to be expected for this V-Line Cup. Both teams desperate for victory. Nice pressure applied from Haberfield, but has just legged the opponent, so a free kick going the way of the Rebels.
As I've mentioned all day in this one, lots of pressure around the Sharon. And McErlin, the beneficiary of the endangered free kick, which was awarded to the Rebels. The kick's just going to run out of tarmac. And they will have a boundary throw. The next goal arguably could really put the Rebels, if they are to find it, in a position of prominence leading into the last 15 minutes of play. Bushrangers will look for a very quick clearance here. Sexton in the rucking dispute. So was Simmons. Either couldn't get a hand on it, just evaded them both. Quick boot to ball was the idea from McCurlin, and marking nicely will be Zara Steele.
Turns 15 today, so it'll be a nice birthday present.
Taking no time at all. Steele just has it blemish well and truly wide. In fact, had perhaps gotten a bit excited at the opportunity to score on her birthday.
We'll give the benefit of the doubt. Tried to set it up into the pocket, we'll say.
I don't mind that either. So the unselfish move from Steele was what she opted to go for. The Rebels still have play inside their arc. Sexton wins the tap, nearly to advantage. The parry was the idea at ground level by Thomas. Clearing kick. Getters had to go up and high. Trying to burst through was Harris. Got hands on the footy just in time. Dodd pushed off it. Pressure from Wilson still applied. Dodd had to clear with the snap. Underneath it was Webb Hunt, who went the fist. Did well despite not having frontal position, Hunt. Bodies just toppling over each other. The ball comes loose somehow. Dodd was there. So was Simpson to go up and high. Compty got the tap. Avoided a certain mark against her direct opponent being McDonald. As just outside the paint of 50, play will come to its halt. 12.5 minutes left on the clock. 11 points the margin in the final V-Line Cup match in the girls under 15s division. Tapped up, nearly. Compty onto it. Betts with a bit of intent. Brought to ground with some pressure from the Bushrangers. Was a Rebel just inside their arc. Pick up from Pole. Not quite. Brown around it. Comes out to McCurlin. Gets the hand pass back. McCurlin ran into the traffic. Gone on the ball, and Compty, despite getting the kick away, Austin, will have a free kick.
Geez, you nearly want to take the advantage here because Grace Parker's got an open paddock in front. Either way, it was wonderful defensive pressure there from the Bushrangers. They were under siege for a long time there. They really didn't let it get inside that sort of 20, 30 metre zone inside their defensive 50, so have done well. The question is, can they get it inside their own attacking zone on ground level? Bowls have involved yet again. Here's Parker going through hand, couldn't get much on it due to the pressures. Done well to feed that one out. I believe it was Wilson streaming past in support. They'll go inside yet again in the hole, taking the mark beautifully was Ava Cunningham. She's had about 3 or 4 huge interceptions in defence. Has been the shining light for the bouncing ball over the top of everyone. Cochran's trying to track it down. Yet again, just staying in play. As Pole to the top of 50. You got 2 hands to it. Soccer off the deck from Dodd. Just went directly to the opponent, though, in McCurlin, who's had a fair chunk of the footy throughout this V-Line Cup matchup. Umpire lurking, but it's just going to be a stoppage. 11.5 minutes remaining. Rebels leading by 11 points. Bushrangers trying to get a bit of open space through the city over there in Ballarat. Webb Hunt on ground level, putting her body on the line. Ball does slip out somehow from Bowles. Was yet again a very congested game at the moment. High pressure. Both teams ravenous for victory in this V-Line Cup. Webb Hunt yet again with the tackle. Bowles couldn't quite garner possession. Bit of a rugby scrum at the moment. 2 just getting in the right of each other. Bowles was clean on ground level. Scooped the handball out. Just running past the football though was Compty. Has just skied that one back in the direction of Webb Hunt. There at the fall of the ball. Wrapped up immediately in the tackle from Pole. Those two have had quite... It's going to be holding the ball. Free kick going the way of the Rebels. So took on a bit too much in the tackle and got a couple of players cramping up. Because been playing lots of footy throughout the last few days. It's been a physical contest. It was Bella Bowles there just cramping up. You don't want her going onto the interchange in the dying stages of this contest when the game is still on the line, as the Rebels will move it towards their forward 50.
Pickle juice required, I'm sure, from both benches. Meanwhile, play resuming. Quick hand pass chain might just work for the Bushrangers, although the kick just wasn't manufactured at the pivotal moment. Back in support. Footy picked up by Bat. In trying conditions, had a lot of players immersed around her. Howland tries the pickup. Webb Hunt back up on her feet. Nearly away with the Sharon was Lang at half back. Kick towards centre wing. McDonald with a nice mark. Looks inboards. Betts will chase. And will pick it up nicely. It's really deep now, Betts, but has done well to shrug off her opponent. The kick off her left, just not finding that of McDonald. It was touched by a Bushranger in the build-up. From half-back, getting away. Nicely done. It was from Kennedy. Wrapping up her opponent, Lewis. The Rebels just desperate to get the ball moving. Howland was involved. Umpire's whistle sounds. Holding free kick in favour of the Bushrangers.
It's the unofficiating umpire as well, who's just in a better position to see that, as Lewis has got Webb Hunt in the centre circle, just a little bit too much on the kick. It'll bounce over the top, and still an opportunity arises for the Bushrangers. But just as it looked as though Gracie Brown was going to run onto it, the ball just eluding it, backing it up with some good repeat efforts with the tackle, trying to get it inside forward 50. Webb Hunt through hand, racking them up here in this V-Line Cup matchup. Dispossessed, still inside the centre square. Is that going to be a push in the back? Yes, it is. Just a couple of undisciplined acts. Could be their undoing here, the Bushies. Tried to get her in the side, but it's going to be called 100% of the time.
Ooh.
Trying to go back with the flight. There was Scarlett Pearce. Picked up, sent forward from Lewis. Been heavily involved in this passage. Couldn't hold on to the mark under pressure from Emily Simmons. Lovely work in defence, just weaving through a few sets of players. Again, going back with the flight. A tough one to read. A slippery Sharon, sending them forward. Isabel Haberfield. Feels like the Bushies are starting to build here as we're past the halfway point of this last quarter. Koish involved. Beautiful handball received now to Cochrane. He's got an open goal square. Gets past one. Got to go for the handball over the top. Can this be the moment for them? Maya Koish bangs it home. It's back to 5 points. What a game we're witnessing here with this 2025 V-Line Cup. Excellent skills on display. And as I said, Adam, just felt like that was building there for the Bushies.
How about Miller Cochrane, who weaved through all the traffic? Could have gone solo, mind you. It looked as if once she'd shifted onto her right, she was going to line up for goal. Went back on her left, got the hand pass away. And Koish was rather perfect in front of goal. Never looked like missing once. It was dispatched off her left boot. And you won't believe it, Austin, but we're back within a 5-point margin yet again. It's been seesawing between 11 and 5 points, and that's where we're back again. The Rebels have the lead, but the Bushrangers could notch themselves in front with a point if they are to find another major. And they will have a free kick, which they take quickly. Webb Hunt wants to go. Goes towards centre half forward. The ball just bouncing inside the 50. Big run down tackle. Koish caught on the ball. Brilliant from Tilly McCurlin. Could potentially be a game-winning tackle. The clock won't stop, but nor will the defensive pressure deep in this one. As Harris lofts the kick. It was Hexter nearly underneath it. Ball goes near towards it. In fact, it does go out of play now. And the umpire, Austin, has signalled insufficient intent. Oh, the Bushrangers reload once more. They have the ascendancy. They've got the late flurry finish, but as well marked from Hexter amidst the flight.
They've had the answers throughout the day, have the Rebels, when the Bushrangers have been coming at them. They did take the lead by 1 point in the mid-stage of the third. Dangerous kick corridor. Well done from Webb Hunt just to get a spell backing it up. She was cramping up seconds ago, but she's free kick has been called for a hold. You can see the frustration there from Webb Hunt, one of the co-captains. 5.5 left in this contest. Both teams trying to finish off their V-Line Cup campaign with a big victory. It's been quite the contest. Parker laying the tackle. The Rebels seemingly have the defensive answers at the moment. Well done, though, from Simmons, just to continue to apply the pressure and put them back in a scoring position inside forward 50. All blue Guernseys around it, but Koish, who just got the last goal, comes out with the football. There's 2-on-1, and it's come off the boot of the Rebels, meaning it's just going to be the minor score and opportunity gone begging. 4 points in it, 5 left. You couldn't ask for a better finish between these two fantastic sides.
Grandstand on the cards, 4 points. It's been shaved down to now. That kick's going to work nicely, and Howland will mark.
Been good today, Howland.
Very serviceable all around the ground. Looks towards broadcast wing. The kick, as she'd taken it, just nudged by Farrell Downs. As McErlin tried to pick out that of Pearce. On the canvas, in support was Kennedy. As Pearce just gives the ball back to the umpire. Timer factor, 4 minutes. Might come after the siren. Austin from either side. Wouldn't that be intriguing? Punched away by Sexton. Goes towards the corridor, bouncing for McInerney over the top. Great pressure applied quickly. It was Foster doing much of it. And the Bushrangers force a stoppage.
Yeah, Foster yesterday, when they were under a little bit of pressure in the third and fourth quarter when they took on the Goulburn Murray. I mean, they only conceded the 1 goal, and Foster was a big reason for that result for them yesterday. As it's going to be a throw called. There's been a few of those throughout the afternoon. Umpires hot on it, but don't mind it because, I mean, we've seen at every level in football that the throws have really become into vogue. So we've got to play it down off the ball. Might be another one that's just cramping up here. Can't blame them. Dispossessed, little soccer, holding free kick. Pick your poison. Which way is it going? The way of the northeast border Bushrangers. 3 minutes and change left. Trailing by 4 points. Koish with the last goal to bring them back into contention. Could be next goal wins. Out of defence, Ava Cunningham, who's certainly going to be the best with all of the defensive interceptions she's had throughout the contest. Handball received, just missing Tilly McErlin. Wrapped up immediately. As the ball will slip out the pack, as it's done so throughout the afternoon. It'll work out for Cochrane. It's a fantastic gather on the outer side. Bouncing one towards the paint of 50. Can this be the moment for the Bushrangers? Wrapped up. That one's not coming out. Taking into the turf was Geddes. We'll throw it up. 50 from home. 2.5 left. Can this be the passage of play to give them the lead, or will it be the Rebels holding on for their first victory of the V-Line Cup? Simmons wins the tap, but the clearance going the way of the Rebels through Matilda Cuts. On the outer side, nearly from Foster. Was able to back it up on ground level. Shrug past Thomas. Feed out the handball under a lot of pressure as the Bushies will look to move it down the ground.
And just as you've mentioned that, Austin, the pressure has really been smothering from the Rebels, and that could prove to be a game-winning tackle. Deep in this one, a clutch moment. The kick's going to trickle towards the forward pocket on the outer left side. Dodd repelling. It just remains alive, but underneath it, Timpson had all eyes for the ball. And the Rebels will look to see out the clock. They lead by 4 points. Nearing the last 90 seconds. A mark would surely win it for them. But Haberfield bursts away, goes corridor. It's all they can do now, the Bushrangers. Picked up by Webb Hunt, who wheels away nicely to the applause of those in the crowd. Finds a fellow headgear wearer. It's going to sit up maybe for Harrison. Still rampaging forward, the number 22. Cuts does really well. Is that gone on the ball? That's what the crowd wanted. Pole stuck in there. Koish picks it up. Cochrane spins away, had nowhere to go. The pressure from Juggo was immense. Inside the last minute. A mark would surely do it. Betts just slips through the fingers. From half back, a foot race on the wing ensues. Haberfield wins that occasion, gets it back immediately from Ford. Looks down the corridor. They've got representation here. Do the Bushrangers. Quickly was Jackson. Just inside the centre square, still 30 seconds left on the clock. Nearly there was Harrison for the Bushrangers. The game's still breathing. Is there something late? Barrel Downs, they have full support. You can hear from those around us. Geddes with the pressure. The clock will evade the Bushrangers. The Rebels are going to hold on here. What a grandstand finish it nearly was. But on the siren, the GWV Rebels get the job done. 6-6-42, plays 6-2-38. 4 points. They get their noses in front by at the final siren to the Rebels. Austin Kruger, there was your grandstand finish to open up proceedings for today's V-Line Cup coverage.
What a fantastic game of football between the two sides. I mean, under trying conditions, we've had a bit of wind and rain. Great to see the boys coming down and supporting the girls in full voice. Maybe a little bit less abuse to the umpires, but nonetheless, it's great to see them here supporting the girls and watching their team on, trying to will them on to victory. And just a fantastic display of football. Our goal scorers will start with the Rebels, 2 to Tessa Wilson and Emma Betts, singles to Sadie Harris and Tilly McErlin. For the Bushies, it was 2 goals to Ruby Newton, singles to Harrison, Farrell Downs, Maya Koish and Isla Geddes. What a fantastic game of football. That's what the V-Line Cup's all about. The players will gather in the middle with the umpires. A best on ground will be awarded to a player of each team. And then we're going to get ready for the Under-15 Boys Division 2 matchup. And we can already hear behind us, they're fired up and ready to go. Austin Kruger and Adam Palombi will have a short break before we come back with our next matchup of the afternoon.
This is nothing compared to yesterday, dude.
Yeah, well, yesterday was warmish back at home. It was humid.
30-kilometer wind.
Oh,
Rain was just coming right into the camera.
God forbid.
I was drenched, dude.
Thanks everyone, we'll get on with the presentations. Before we do that, I think what a fantastic game of girls footy. I think the girls deserve a round of applause. Fantastic. Probably just showcase what this competition's all about, bringing all the best under 15 girls across the state to compete in the V-Line Cup. So well done girls. We certainly look forward to monitoring your progress as you continue through the Talent Pathways program. So well done once again. I'll call on the coach of North East Border, Brad Nicholson, to say a few words and to also announce the best player.
Really well done, GWV. You were outstanding today. You brought that pressure from first quarter and from throughout the whole game. So, everybody else, good to go done. That's all we have to say. That was V-Line.
And we've got Luke from V-Line to present the best on ground medal. Well done. I'll call on Naomi Irving from the GWV Rebels to say a few words and announce the best player.
Thank you very much, and thank you, North Eastern Water. That is exactly what we want this program to be. That was competitive footy, that was fun footy, that was so great to watch, and we really appreciate you bringing an absolute great game. It was really competitive, great for everyone involved, spectators and players, and to really have that chance to play such a competitive game was amazing. So well done to you. Well done to my girls. We did such a great thing, to think that we only played on Monday as the first time together, and then Wednesday, and the improvement in the game is just phenomenal. And I think that's what's so great about having this V1 Cup, and a big thank you to V1 for hosting it and holding it, that we get to get you out here and thank you for such a really good players and so on. So well done for stepping up and contributing so well today. Our best player could have chosen a lot of you. You all played very well, but one particular standout, Leanne Cole.
Well done, thank you. Also, congratulations to the umpires. Thank you. It's been a big couple of days for the umpiring group as well, so we certainly thank you. To all the coaches, to the parents, supporters, all the support staff who've helped put this girls program on, thank you very much. For all the girls, the North East Water girls that are travelling home and your families, please travel safely, and we certainly will look forward to seeing you in the future. Well done.